Hey guys, this is Dr. Sandy with another educational video for you and your family to have the best quality of life possible. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 ways to have natural relief from arthritis. If you're new to our videos, welcome. If you've been watching for some time, welcome back. If you get value out of these videos, please like, share, and subscribe, and let's talk about arthritis. Now, there's different forms of arthritis. The one we're going to be talking about today is called OA or osteoarthritis. You'll usually generally see this in older people, so we're going to talk about treating it. What I'd like you to do though is that if you're listening to this, there's nothing wrong with taking action and being preventative. Why wait for the arthritis to show up? Why not take proactive action so your body's in the best shape possible? Because the reality is, I think a lot of times in the younger part of our life, we really don't give health the attention it deserves. And suddenly when we get older, we're trying to do all this catch up. A lot of times you can turn it around. Sometimes it's too late. So let's always have that proactive mindset. So when it comes to arthritis, what is it? So it's actually the joints breaking down, decaying, it's wear and tear. And then what can happen is typically in the beginning when there's a wear and tear in the joints, most likely there'll be no symptoms. If it gets a little more severe, you might hear a grinding or clicking sound. Occasionally you're getting a stiffness. That seems to be a big quality of this type of arthritis. And then again, very on and off. But as it progresses now, suddenly that stiffness, maybe even some joint swelling gets more common. And at the end stage, it can really start to affect quality of life, mobility, walking, motion can all get affected. So it's something that actually there are things we can do. And again, let's be proactive. But if you already have osteoarthritis or degeneration, what are things you can do naturally to help the body? So number one, drinking water. That will always lubricate the body, and in this case specifically lubricate the joints. Dehydration can accelerate the degeneration process. I know a lot of people have a conception that when there's degeneration, or a doctor might use a term like that, or arthritis, the first thing they think is, I'm going to drink more milk, I need more calcium. Now it depends. What may be happening in that case, there's something called osteoporosis, which are the bones are weak, and yes, maybe calcium needs more attention. That's something different. We're talking about osteoarthritis. There's actually a breakdown in the joint. There's extra calcium coming in. It's actually surrounding the joint and causing that breakdown. There's a lot of wear and tear. So we actually want to lubricate it with something like water, okay? The next thing, and if you're a patient of mine, you know I always talk about this. Obviously, you need to be stretching. And I'll talk about number 3. Stretching, in my mind, is a completely different category than exercise. And why would I say that? Because exercise is when you're already in motion. So this is the pre and the post. We're talking about stretching. And this, I really want to get this across to you, because I do have people I've talked to where they're saying things like, well, you know, I went to the gym today, I kind of stretched a bit and I'm good. So it's kind of like the days they exercise, the days they go to the gym or they're doing any type of activity, they're like, yeah, you know, I was moving my body, so I'm sure it got warmed up. I'm sure that's like a stretch. No, that's something completely different. And I literally want you to start treating the stretch like brushing your teeth, like it's a separate activity. Whether you work out, whether you go to the gym, whatever you're doing, the stretch is something completely different and treat it in its own category. That way you'll always be safe. So you should be stretching. What that'll do is make the body more flexible. More flexibility is better health always. You want to make this a daily ritual, so in the morning and night. And then on top of it, if you do a physical activity like go to the gym, lifting weights or anything, you want to do extra stretching before and after. And I've heard different theories like only stretch before or do the workout and then stretch, which I don't understand personally. I think you really can't overdo it in most cases. So what I would say is stretch before your activity, after your activity. If you're not going to work out that day, it doesn't matter. You need to stretch. The more you stretch, the more you move those joints, the less will develop that arthritis type activity. Now, getting into the exercise. So obviously, healthier people are moving. So let's say you said, okay, I'm drinking my water, Dr. Sandy, I did my stretches today, I'm ready to exercise. So I would say you need to be exercising 4 to 5 times a week, even if it's walking 15, 20 minutes a day. If the weather's not good outside, walk in your house. If you are working from home, maybe you have a headset, just keep in motion. That is the whole secret. You need to keep the body in motion. And the more you are in motion, the more we can prevent any type of degeneration or arthritis. Let me clarify myself though. I would recommend more activities that are flowing. So what does that mean? That would mean riding a bike, swimming, going for a brisk walk. You want to avoid activities where there's a pounding action, because the pounding over time will really play havoc on the joints. It can cause wear and tear. So, sometimes once in a while I get it, but if you're doing an exercise with a lot of jumping up and down consistently, it's hard on the spine, it's hard on the joints, it can be hard on the knees. And in my opinion, over time, if it's done way too much, can lead to arthritic activity. Think about what the body's doing. When you're doing all that pounding on the joints, the body has to adapt, and it may have to lay down the extra calcium. So let's get away from that. The other thing is, if you already have osteoarthritis, there's research. I mean, they're still looking at clinical trials, but some of the research and some of the doctors are now suggesting that yes, ginger and turmeric have anti-inflammatory properties. So these can help. They're natural. For a lot of people, this is already in their diet. So back home, they call this adadak, and then the turmeric would be like the haldi. But this is already in a lot of people's diet around the world. And this is something that you should implement. It's natural. Obviously, if your body can tolerate it, I'm assuming you don't have an allergy to it, but there's a reason it's been around for so long, and the science is catching up and saying it has anti-inflammatory properties. So I would say preventatively, I think using a little bit of this stuff would be good. And then if you do have arthritis, really make that a focus. And then the big thing I want to talk about is chiropractic. We have patients who come to us. Obviously, they want to get better, get that pain relief, which is good. But the other big benefit with people who are using chiropractic more as a lifestyle wellness choice preventatively, getting chiropractic regularly also will keep those joints in motion, which helps neurology. But if you can keep the joints moving in a healthy fashion and properly, this will also prevent any type of degeneration, especially as chiropractors. While we look at the entire musculoskeletal system, there's a real big focus on the spine because there's so much neurology. The spine is literally an extension of the brain. So if we can have healthy motion in the spine, healthy movement, and less pressure on those nerves, the body can work at a higher level. It also means more flexibility, just more energy, just feeling better the way you should be. So these would be the top things: the water, the stretching, exercise, looking into maybe incorporating ginger and turmeric into the diet, and then using chiropractic as a preventative measure, just to keep the body healthy and flexible the way it should be. So I really hope this information helped. As always, every Monday I'm going to make another video giving information for you and your family and friends to get the best quality of life possible. Again, if you're enjoying these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. Stay strong, stay healthy. I'm Dr. Sandy, and thank you for listening.